Wonky app ordering, disappointing serving sizes, and surprise charges are just some of the business practices at Little Caesars that'll have you saying dough instead of pizza. If there's one thing that Little Caesars prides itself on, it's dough. As the chain claimed on a Facebook post in 2013, "Know your dough. Ours is made fresh in store each day with a mixer, while some other places use factory-made or frozen dough. A freshly mixed base is an undeniably attractive quality in a pizza, but we're not totally convinced that this claim from Little Caesars rings true all the time, as the internet is littered with conflicting testimony from employees that casts some doubt. While many workers enthusiastically confirm that the dough is exclusively mixed daily at their locations, others have said that frozen dough is sometimes defrosted for pizza making. It has also been suggested that smaller, express Little Caesars, like those found in shopping malls or grocery stores, use frozen dough exclusively, perhaps because they don't possess the standard mixing equipment found in the regular locations. Why order plain garlic breadsticks from any old restaurant when you can have Little Caesars celebrated crazy bread instead? A standard order of 8 of these Parmesan-sprinkled breadsticks doused in the famous crazy bread spread is a pretty affordable snack that's worth every penny. But even though Little Caesars declares that crazy bread is buttery in taste and texture, the truth is that the savory spread dumped on these sticks isn't buttery at all. In fact, numerous employees have claimed that it's made up of artificial ingredients, none of which are real melted butter. As one of them put it on Reddit, "It's not butter. What it is, I don't know, but it's definitely not butter or anything natural." Others have described some sort of oil and fat mixture. While perhaps not buttery in a true sense, the crazy bread is still considered remarkably delicious by many, so you'll have to decide for yourself if fraudulent butter is enough to stop you from indulging. Buffalo sauce is a popular spicy condiment for the likes of chicken wings, hot dogs, mac and cheese, veggies, and sometimes even pizza. So Little Caesars makes sure to keep dipping cups of the coveted sauce ready in their kitchens for customers who want to give their slices or their chicken wings a bit of a fiery kick. But as it turns out, the chain's buffalo sauce is far from a signature concoction. To be specific, Little Caesars simply uses Frank's Red Hot buffalo wing sauce. This is the same familiar brand that can be found in grocery stores nationwide. While this may take away some of the excitement from your meal, there is at least some good news. Since Frank's Red Hot can readily be purchased at a supermarket near you, you can easily harness the flavor of Little Caesars for your homemade pizza or homemade wings by buying your very own bottle to douse them in.
Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Ranch, barbecue, chipotle, cheesy jalapeno, and butter garlic are just some of the sauces you can dip into at Little Caesars. But if you thought that you could get a cup of one of these delicious dipping sauces in your pizza box for free, you might just be in for a rude awakening. Based on employee testimony, there appears to be no concrete policy regarding sauce charges, making this area a little unpredictable. While some workers have claimed that the sauce is free at their locations, others have said that at least some of them come with a price tag attached. Furthermore, the precise costs of the sauces appear to vary greatly, and this inconsistency could certainly make things confusing for patrons. So before you add any sauce to your cart at Little Caesars, we recommend checking with your specific location beforehand to confirm what their policy is. Mobile apps have replaced phone calls as the preferred method for a lot of people when it comes to ordering takeout from restaurants. Thus, developing a reliable, user-friendly app has become a priority for many eateries, including Little Caesars. Alas, there appears to be some significant confusion regarding its mobile ordering system. In particular, there's the strange case of vanishing menu items.
Where did everybody go?
According to numerous employees, this is indeed an unfortunate feature of the app. On a thread on the Little Caesars subreddit, a worker explained that managers at each store have the ability to black out select items on the app if they so choose. This claim is supported by testimony from other employees. This appears to happen only occasionally, such as when a store is running low on a certain product. Nevertheless, it's definitely led to some serious confusion among pizza lovers. It was 2014 when Little Caesars debuted its pretzel crust, and the popular crispy pizza base has since been resurrected by the chain multiple times over the years. In 2023, it was brought back yet again after a prolonged period of hopeful wishing by hungry customers. It remains on the menu in 2024, providing millions of pizza lovers with a crunchy on the outside, chewy on the inside texture. But while you may have thought that the pretzel crust pizza was delivering an extra special top secret recipe, it turns out that the reality is a little less dazzling. Once again, the accounts from Little Caesars employees have been leaving us doubtful, as they've revealed that the famous pretzel crust pizzas are in fact made from the exact same dough as the regular crust pies. The only difference is that they're brushed with a baking soda solution prior to baking, which promotes further browning and gives the pretzel crust its signature crackle. After emerging from the oven, the crusts are then finished off with a sprinkle of margarine and sea salt to create that shiny pretzel-like finish. Though this may not be the truly unique vessel for your sauce and cheese that you were hoping for, the pretzel crust pizza's popularity still stands as a testament to its deliciousness. Sometimes things can still be tasty even when they're shady. You might assume that asking for light sauce when ordering at a pizza place shouldn't lead to a higher bill. You're choosing less of the standard version after all. However, in the case of Little Caesars, less is apparently more. According to employees, any and all customizations come with an upcharge, and that includes the light sauce option. As one confused customer bemoaned on Reddit, it costs $2 more for light sauce, so a thin crust pep is $7.99. If you customize one and just change it to light sauce, it now costs $10. Really? Charging $2 more for less sauce?
By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
A Little Caesars employee attempted to clear things up by confirming that if a customer selects light sauce, it will immediately ring up in the system as a custom order. A few other employees offered a lesser-known way to avoid this default. When using the mobile app, there's supposedly a modifiers button under the standard pizzas that allows you to select light sauce without having to create a custom order and thereby avoid the upcharge. However, it appears that not all locations have the modifier option set up, so you may want to play it safe and look into your particular store's mobile ordering system before your next order. In our on-demand world, so many of us have gotten used to ordering all our meals at the push of a button, and then canceling those orders when plans change just as easily. Alas, if you try to do this to cancel your Little Caesars app order, you may be disappointed to discover that there's no cancellation option to be found. The reason is that Little Caesars mobile orders can only be canceled in person or via a phone call. While this is certainly inconvenient, you may not think of it as necessarily shady, but the problem is that it can be extremely difficult to get through to the right person in time. As one annoyed customer detailed on Reddit, the mobile app seriously needs a cancel order/modify button because I pressed the wrong order type and calling has been a show where it rings for 5 minutes or I get a disconnected buzz. I'm now out $8 and I'm now a very annoyed customer.
Angry.
Other customers have shared similar experiences, with multiple reports of stores not picking up prior to an order being prepared, which then renders it ineligible for a refund. So check your cart multiple times before you hit that order button, because you may only have one shot to get it right. Who doesn't love a pizza loaded with every one of their favorite toppings? Some folks may be fine with just cheese and sauce, but that definitely doesn't cut it for everyone. But for those who do indulge, what if those toppings are disproportionately spread out on each slice? As one Little Caesars employee revealed on Reddit, all toppings are applied by using a measuring cup for consistency. However, once more than 2 toppings are ordered, smaller sized cups are used to measure out the additional selections. As this employee advised, don't go over 4 toppings. We use smaller cups for each added topping. If you want true value, don't go over 2 toppings when making a custom pizza. After 2 is when we start changing the topping cup sizes. While we can't confirm with absolute certainty whether or not this method is employed at every single Little Caesars location, the use of measuring cups for toppings has been mentioned multiple times by other employees elsewhere. And it does stand to reason that after so much cheese, peppers, ground beef, and more, a pizza might start to become a bit too heavy. So the reality of this practice isn't too hard to imagine, and it may be enough to convince you to just settle for your top 2 favorite toppings the next time that you order. Your stomach may end up thanking you for the break after all. Unlike pizza places that exclusively cook their creations after customers place an order, Little Caesars takes a slightly different approach. The chain bakes many of its pizzas in advance and then stores them in a heated, hot and ready rack, thus reducing wait times for hungry customers. But while handing out previously cooked pizzas certainly cuts down on wait times, it may not be the best way to ensure freshness. If you absolutely must have a newly cooked pizza prepared individually for you, then you should probably consider placing an order for a custom pizza on the app. Ordering extra sauce, another layer of cheese, or extra pepperoni, for example, will force employees to whip up a brand new pie on the spot, instead of opting for one that's waiting in the warmer. However, if you do end up with a standard hot and ready pizza, it's not all bad. The pies in the warmer are only supposed to remain there for about 30 minutes before they're discarded, so the pizza should still be relatively fresh by the time that you eat it, whether or not it was made specifically for you. Chicken wings are a popular staple for plenty of Americans for plenty of occasions. Traditionally associated with sports bars, these juicy poultry snacks can now be found in many different types of restaurants, including pizza chains like Little Caesars. But when it comes to the details of those Caesar wings, it turns out that customers have a bone to pick. A very, very small bone, that is. And they've taken to the internet to voice their discontent. As it turns out, there are multiple Reddit threads about the questionable size of the Caesar's wings. People consistently call them out for being oddly tiny, and some have gone so far as to suggest, possibly jokingly, that the meat is sourced from baby chickens. Some have taken unflattering photos comparing their thumbs to the wings, while others have unfavorably compared the diminutive size to batteries. We can't say for certain whether or not baby chick wings are actually being used by Little Caesars. Either way, you might want to minimize your expectations to something more bite-sized if you plan to get your chicken fix on anytime soon.